close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. Finding life along the way, melodies we haven't played. No, I don't want no rest. Echoing around these walls, fighting to create a song. I don't wanna miss a beat. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. And we'll grow in number, fueled by them to see the horizon, turn us to thousands. And we'll grow in number, fueled by them to see the horizon, turn us to thousands. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on
Open eye, feel the waves cut through me, hypnotized by the sounds I'm breathing in. Hold tight, chemicals collide. Hold tight, hold tight, hold tight. Dripping lights paint the skies, all because of you. Dripping lights paint the skies, only you can make me move. You
the sun. To dream, believe in strength. Now I'm the only one, only one. I was an ordinary boy until I broke the rules. My life destroyed, life destroyed. Until I walk awake, scream my mind, I shout, the ground shakes. How much can I take? My mind will break. Will it break? Can I take? Can I be your superhero? Superhero. Can I be your superhero? Superhero. 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 Fly away. It's the first time of today. Today. To dream, believe. You are the strength, you're all I need. Need. Oh, gonna give it a shot. Only one of me to shield you all from the enemy. You're a superhero. You're a superhero. Can I be your superhero? Superhero. 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 Can I be your superhero? Over the edge, feel like I'm floating through the air. The pain I felt is pain.
Mbona kisha plate full ish. You said I keep on hitting the table.
It's your
so
thing, man. It's your
my
thing. It's your
yeah.
trademark.
It's my
now.
trademark. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen.
I did not say do it. But go ahead, continue.
We hope you guys are good. Welcome to it. So much to talk about, guys. So much to talk about. It's the top 16 group stages.
Yeah.
And today we're kicking it off ka group A. Yeah, ka lebitso ke o ratile Mosimege, ngwanana Mushimanana wa Mosotho, and besides me.
Wow. Like ke na mathapelo ngwana na Mosotho. Ke Motswana, by the way. I ke tsena nana o kena kae ba Sotho, but
no, I have Sotho blood there and there. Now, we descend from what? The southern Sothos.
Okay.
Yeah, guys.
It's cool.
Cool.
Back to the gaming now.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Back to the game. Okay.
We move.
How are you doing today, ma'am?
I am good. I'm ready to see what Group A has for us. Already some matches have been played since So, hey.
It's going to look hectic, man.
So I feel like it's already hectic. You can just already see, Chahaf.
Hey, it's already big names. Group A. Group A is gonna be very juicy, guys. And if you guys saw, on the website, I'm sure returning 2 Pirates players. Zuhair. Yeah, Zuhair, Dr. Z. I like to call him Dr. Z because of the way he plays, the flair. He came out top of, the table, like top of the table, Dr. Z. And then he's playing up against Ntsaks.
Oh, Ntsaks make me proud, boy.
He made you proud.
Yeah, he must.
Oh, he
this
must
time.
make you proud.
But then I feel like because of Bali too, they're from the same team.
Yeah.
They kind of know each other's tricks and trades. So may the best man win.
May the best man win, man. And you are a Pirate supporter yourself, ne?
Yes.
And so who are you supporting here, because it's Pirates?
I really don't like. This is where it gets a bit complicated right now.
Yeah.
When it's my 2 players.
Yeah.
So which one do I? Oh, we know. It's fine. Whoever that wins, I am going for that one. But hey, Zoo is up there. He's on 29 goals, and Ntsaks is on
29.
20. And I think 29 in Paham. Because
of
I think Paham like Khona no. Inente ele go 29 and Khona no. He just changed it.
He played a match up against I think it was Tibbs or was it Sia Gift?
I think it was Sia Gift. And it was a 5-0.
5 kanda. 5 mbobo, guys. If you guys know what that is, come on. Impamati 5 finger. Come
At least that's a half dozen.
Yeah.
I just feel like as long as it's not a 6-0, guys, you are still safe. Ish.
Safe-ish, yeah.
Safe-ish.
But hey, man, that was a thrashing, guys. So we know what to look forward to. Yeah, I was having an interesting discussion with the panelists at the back, and they were just reacting, giving me game, teaching me a couple of stuff. Then now wanna sound smart, guys. I wanna la croqueta, nice la croqueta over there. And then it's going to be definitely going to be a good match, guys. It's Zuhair up against Ntsaks. Definitely a match to look out for. And of course, guys, it's all brought to you by Ekasi Esports, powered by Vodacom World. And you guys can get yourselves, lekker deals, man. Get those Oppo deals, those nga phones. Guys, we're not bona phone in
ke o thomile ke tla go rekisa fridge ya eno le nna ke reke phone
amaro tla reka phone mo mona mo Vodacom.
ke tla mo Vodacom le ke go rekisa ya mo eno fridge not ya mo so they will remember. So I'll sell fridge ya mo eno and come to Vodacom World, and get that upgrade that I so need.
O tlo rekele len
why say there's other deals except phones, there's headsets and all and speakers. So I must plug myself in everything. It's kind of like a phone fair, and other
things as well. We're not updated. So and then I think let's jump into the match. Let's jump into the commentators. They're waiting for us.
You like the things, and the things don't like you.
The things,
No.
The things don't like me.
No.
What?
Imagine you commentate. I could laugh the whole time.
Man, commentator. Na ke commentator na.
Oh, chess. No. No. Not now, not tomorrow. Alright, na mo mo linding like no. I can just imagine. So why do you tweet about friends? Ah,
For
I
others.
monate ha ile jwalo. Ha ke bone na mang ke mang.
Yeah, ke strength ke it's like Marali the way ba positioning player ka teng, it's going to be very like crucial.
Mar e ke go bane ba tswa ntweng A1 nna a ke tsebe nna nka ka prefer gore be bona against the other one. They know each other's strengths and
It's
weaknesses.
underway.
Kutlwa ka ditsebeng tsa ka. Ke yona head nanye.
We're not like the cricket. Eh?
Cricket dancing, it was.
Yeah.
It was. Really?
Yeah.
Why?
No, it's like, you know, I think the ball, Wabo, when you're they have to hear those little sounds. If it nicks the ball, no, you know when it nicks the ball.
I don't even know what that is.
You know what? I can keep better. I got Swara Petty Ved. Obona Petty.
How time I vele e tshwara? I ke go e tshwara le ke shapetse bo ya kwa.
Honali bowler.
Yeah, go la hlala
and there's a the batsman.
Yeah, I think it's a batsman.
Yeah, it's a batsman. Over. So the aim of the bowler is to get the wickets.
And ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in on this fine Saturday. It is the Ekasi Esports FIFA 21 series. My friend Eugene is here joining me today. It's your boy Sam Plays, and today we're going to be giving you guys all the action that you guys need to know what's coming to this tournament. Eugene, how you doing, my friend?
Yeah, I'm good, man. And then you?
I'm good. I'm excited to see some games now. We finally leveled up to that group stages now, where things are going to get a bit more intense. Just to break it down for you guys, for the past 4 weeks, you guys have been watching the league gameplay. So that's been every player in the tournament participating, having to go up against each other, and the top 16 then qualify to go to group stages. And now we've started with the first group stage, or the first group rather, in this epic long series. Each week we're going to be showcasing each group going up against each other. So every player is going to be playing 3 matches today in this group specifically, and next week it's going to be another group, and the following exactly. There's 4 groups in total, and the top 2 then qualify to the next stage. Eugene, tell me what we can look forward to, my friend.
Oh man, super group.
Yes.
Group A. I don't think I don't know, but for me it's probably the group of death. You don't want to be in that group. You know, in the league stages, we talked about making sure that you're in the top 16.
Right.
But we didn't really talk about where should you place yourself in the top 16, maybe to have a better chance of being in a easier group. As we see in Group A, we've got Zuhey and Sax,
Yep.
and then Sia,
Yep.
and also Tebza.
Yeah.
You know. I think Nsax and Zuhey are Orlando Pirates professional players, so it's going to be tough. It's going to be a difficult one if you are not, if you are in the same group as those two. So, yeah, we must just expect fireworks today. And I think we're also going to be watching both of Nsax's matches. And the one with Zuhey has to be a humding of a match. And also, Zuhey has already played his first match today and has won 5-0. So
Against Tebza.
yeah, against Tebza. So it's now showing where you can put your money on. But so far, I think Zuhey just needs that 1 point from Zax. They are teammates. I don't know if it's going to be a case of just give me a draw. Don't worry.
Yeah.
We'll meet in the later stages of the tournament. But yeah, I think we should expect fireworks today.
Yeah, and just to give everybody a bit of context, I'm looking at the stats right here. So you've got Zahir, who's in the group of death, we're going to call it that, Group A, who has played 8 matches in the league, and he's won all 8 of them. So he's currently running undefeated, And then you have Nsax, who's the player for Orlando Pirates. He's a very good player. We saw him play last week. And he's got 8 matches that he had won, 8 matches that he had played, and only 6 of them that he won. At the time that we watched him last week, he was undefeated, but then we watched him draw that one game, and I think he lost the second one as well. So to see the gift, which was a very interesting game at that. So it just shows you that you have what you call Titan players in this situation. Very good players that have a huge record. I mean, if you're going 8 games played and 6 games won, that's a pretty good record for me. I mean, you're doing quite well for yourself.
I mean, Sax is the defending champion, if we can call him that, of this competition. He won it last year. I think it was last year, December or November. So he knows how to win tournaments.
Yeah.
And Zuhey, is a professional esports player for Orlando Pirates. He knows how to get the job done. And as you say, he finished the league as the number one seed, 8 games, 8 wins. Better goal difference than any other player. Only Divac was just behind him. So. If you are Tebza and you are Sia the Gift, you'll need to make sure that you make no mistakes, because these guys are going to pounce on it.
Yeah.
So for Zuhey, I think the guy who's got all the cards here is Zuhey, having won his first game that we didn't stream. So he knows that in the next 2 games he just needs 3 points and then he's safe.
Yeah.
But judging from what I've seen from him, for him, it doesn't matter which match it is. He's just going for the win every day, and that's what we want to see.
Yeah, correct. And I think we can already see and establish who's going to be who are the top dogs and who are the underdogs. In this situation, you've got Zahir, you've got undefeated, and Tuck is the reigning champion as it stands right now. However, last week he was defeated by Zahir, who was the underdog that match. So I mean, we all love the story of the underdog. We all love the story of the guy that came from the bottom and rose all the way to the top. That the David. We love that story. So in my eyes, I'm looking at Sia the Gift. He hasn't been doing too bad. I mean, he in the last league, he played 8 games, won 7 matches. So he's got better stats than Thugs. But in this situation, I don't know. When I'm looking at this table, you've got 3 top players. Unfortunately, we don't have too much background on depth. But all we know for now is that he's lost the first game. He's already on the back foot, and he lost dismally, if you can call it that, 5-0 difference. So, giving Zohia that 5-goal difference that the other players in the league really, really desperately need. What we saw in the previous league as well is that everything came down to a goal difference.
Yeah.
Everybody won a bunch of games, and everybody pretty much had that undefeated streak, and then it came down to a thing of how many goals separated. So Zohia already, separating the league with a 5-goal difference is putting pressure on everybody else to say that if you're going to play a game, especially two titans like Sia and Zags come together, last time it was close. I think it was a 2-goal difference. Which isn't enough for you to be able to set apart from everybody else. So I'm keen to see the underdog come on top in this situation. I'm going to place my money on Sia. I mean, you're not their favorites or anything like that. I'm looking at Sia thinking he's coming in from that I've got nothing to lose thing, and everybody else.
No, I stand to be corrected, but I think last week it was Bozonke who played Sia.
Oh,
So
sorry.
Nzaks lost to Divac the other week. You remember 5-0 also.
Yeah.
So he's also, and then I think last week he drew his game as well. Nzaks. So he's from that 5-0 of Divac, and he needs to correct that. Going into this game. And to your point, I think Sia the Gift also showed last week that what he can do. So having them three in the same group, yes, we don't know much about Tebza, but what we know now is that he lost 5-0 dismally. So I think those three, particularly Nzaks and Sia, are the ones that are under pressure, at this moment in time, because Divac has got that 5-0 cushion, that 3 points that on the board at the moment. The other ones, we're not sure if they've played or are currently playing, the ones that we're not showing. But, I would like to be in Zuhei's shoes right now, because you've got that 5-0, you're playing against Nzaks and Sia the Gift, and probably you've watched Sia the Gift, but the attitude, if there's one thing that I would like from Zuhei, it's the attitude. It seems like every match he's playing, he doesn't care who he's playing. He's just going for the win.
Going in it with a clean mind and pure intention in this thing. I think that's the trick that I learned very hard back in my FIFA days when I used to play against friends. This thing of Eugene beat perfect and I beat perfect, therefore, between you and I, it's going to be, there's no such thing.
It doesn't work like that.
You beat perfect, it means nothing.
Yeah.
Because I beat Osmang Mang, it means nothing. When it comes down to it, each play is different. Each game, each outcome is different. It just comes with you as to how do you play? What are your playing styles? We touched on that in the last few weeks about the different angles and tactics that you can come into. Whether you're observing in the beginning, we've seen it in previous games where I think it was Bossanke who used an entire 80 minutes just to observe a play, and that's when we saw the first goal happen, and then he counter-attacked immediately after that. So, different play styles, different tactics when it comes to the game of FIFA that determine how you succeed. This thing of coming in and saying, I'm undefeated, I'm the reigning champion from last year, it won't help you going into the game because you don't know who you're going up against. Last week we saw Sia the Gift and Bossanke. Sia was positioned at 9th or something below.
Yeah, and then the other one was like 27.
Yeah, so and we saw the person at the bottom win, and it's one of those things that just don't go into it with any conditions or any pre-assumption. Go in it with, this is a new game. Today's a new day. Anything can happen. Whether it's internet, maybe you can have a bad day.
Yeah, you never know.
Pick up the right way.
And again, this is a shortened league, because it's just one group. Last week, the week in the past 4 weeks, you could afford to have, a bad day. This time around, you can't, because now you only have 3 games. One loss, you are practically out. Like Tebza is under pressure now. Because he needs others to do him a favor so that he can, do that and whatnot. So there's no time to study someone. It's only 1 leg. It's not 2 legs. You're not going to play 6 games. It's only 3. So there's no time to say, I'm going to study that man for the first 45 minutes and then, no, it doesn't work that way. Today, what you just need to do is to play your own game. Show us what you can do. Show yourself what you can do. You had all the time to study everyone. We've been streaming guys here. You had all the time to watch them, but now it's all about what can you offer. on the day. Because if you don't, unfortunately, you might. I mean, if it takes you 80 minutes to study someone and then you score after 80 minutes and they score back, you're back to square one. There's no another leg for you to play. You know, so just go for that win. If I had to give someone that advice.
Yeah, play. You know, you have to have that mindset of there are no second chances. This
Yeah,
time. You know, there is no safety kit. There's no fallback. If you lose, you lose. You're out. You're
Gone.
out. And your run at 25 for that Lions share 5,000 rands is now over. You know, you've been dedicating the last 4 weeks playing, you know, week in, week out to try and make it into the top 16, and now you lose the first game, and it already dictates everything. And I think what I always say, avoid that thing which you just said now. Relying on other people doing your favors. You know, now you're doing mathematics. It's like if he loses and he draws, and then maybe that's not the way you want to go into this. You really want to go into it with, I'm going to do the best I can. I'm going to be playing against someone. And you must also be able to acknowledge if someone is better than you. Then say, you know what? You are the better man. You won. It's not a situation of, I think the one thing I don't want players to go through is ever realizing that maybe they didn't put in the effort that they could have possibly, that they didn't give it their all. You know, I think that's the worst thing that could potentially the tournament, where you just think, I didn't do the best that I could, you know. But it also is different to if you play someone against like Beast or something. I played against Beast once, and I just say, you know, he's the better man. I can play as hard as I want, but he's the better man, and I enjoy that kind of thing. So I think my message to everybody watching right now, and to everybody that's going to be watching this on replay, is just make sure that when you go into these games, go in with everything that you've got. Make sure that when you look back at it, that it's not a thing of, I should have done this, I should have done that, I should have gone there. Learning is great, but understanding that you went in with that mindset of, I'm going to win and I'm going to play the best FIFA that I can, I think it will take you a long way. I just quickly want to read the comments from the stream. Smusiso is here, says, I don't know if this is my laptop, but the audio is not nice, can't hear the presenters properly. Hopefully our man just came through and he tried to fix it. Hopefully Smusiso, you can hear us now. Please let us know in the comments. Everybody else watching from home, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe to the Ekasi Esports channel, and just also share your comments down below. Looking at the leagues, looking at the tables, who do you think is going to win? You've got Zoe here, who's got undefeated as it stands. He's played 9 games now in the total of the tournament, with a 5-0 that he won today. We've got Ntsaks that we're trying to get a hold of so that we can try and watch his game. So let us know which way you guys are going. If you came here to support one of the players, then please let me know. Eugene, I want to get your personal opinion on something, man. Looking at this table, let's try to get some predictions going, man. What do you think? Who do you think are the 2 that are going to qualify, and why do you think that?
I think it's an easy prediction. I think the 2 Pirates players are gonna go through, Ntsaks and Zuhei, and I think Zuhei will go through as the winner of the group. I don't think Ntsaks will beat him. I think the best Ntsaks can do is get a draw from their game, and I think Ntsaks will win against the other 2, Tebza and Sia Gift. I think Sia Gift will finish 3rd. And then, Tebza will just finish last. But hey, you never know.
Yeah.
You never know what might happen. But you know, judging from how the league finished, you know, as I keep on repeating, I was impressed by the attitude from Zuhei. You know, he went in there, didn't give a damn. You know, he just beat people. You know, whoever he met took 3 points. Yeah. You know, and you know, if you go out of that league and go into the group stages at the back of such a run and such a finish, then you know you have the confidence going into the games, and even the players that are playing against you are starting to take notice when they see your name against them. So I think he's the better player right now, and I think he's going to win the group by 9 points or 7, and then Ntsaks will just be behind him.
Great predictions, man. I think I like that one with the 2 Pirates players. It's going to be a nice little heated thing back in the locker room there by the Pirates headquarters as to who the better player is. I'm sure that they've had enough. I mean, it must be an advantage for both of them to be able to have. I mean, Ntsaks is a very top player. Zohi is a very top player. So they should be, I'm assuming now at this stage that they have a lot of practice sessions.
They know each other.
Yeah, they know each other, you know, and they can really take the most out of it. I think if your sparring partner was one of the greatest in this tournament, you have a great advantage in the situation. You know, you're making sure that even when you're practicing, you have to bring your best game out, so that when it comes time for it, when it's a heated situation like this, your first game in the group stages, you win 5-0 with ease. You know?
You see, if this is a good match to watch between Zuhey and Zags, if you are Divek. You know, if you are Divek, you know that you finished second behind Zuhey and you beaten Zags 5-0. It's time for you to see how these two giants play against each other. Then you can see where and where not to exploit should you meet either of them.
Yeah.
You know, particularly should you meet Zuhey in any of the upcoming rounds. You know, so if you watch him against how he plays against Ntags, one of the top guns, the reigning champion, then this is a very good match to watch. So I think we will be ready to be watching the games.
Yeah, I think the players are busy inviting each other. We're trying to get them together. I'm very keen to see this top quality football. Last week we saw some amazing FIFA, man. I've never seen something as good as that.
Yeah, it was good, particularly you know, tactically, you know, how players were learning each other, and boom, goals, and then the other one responds.
Yeah,
you know, it was fascinating to see from a tactical point of view.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering, what are we gonna see today? Is it going to be a case of tactics or skill?
Okay.
You know, because last week it was more about tactics, but today I have a feeling it's going to be about skill.
Yeah, when you have titans that clash, that are, I would say, equal in regards to gameplay, in regards to tactics. We saw that last week, is that it comes down to a point of you have to beat the next man, and using simple tactics like putting it on the wing or trying to cut through with a through ball. Those things just don't cut it anymore, especially when you're now playing in their 18-yard area. You now have to be creative. You now have to think outside of the box. Now you have to start using things like the right analog stick to try and get through the next man. And if you don't know how to properly operate that mechanic, if you don't know which skills to use in which intense situations, then I think you're gonna be at the back end here. So now we get to, this is the game that separates the boys from the men. You know what I mean? This is when you start seeing the guys that take this thing seriously, the guys that, I think Beast Bianchi is one of the best examples I can say. That guy breaks down FIFA to the mechanics of the game as if he knows how it operates. He dissects it from, sure, the ball moves left to right, but how do the players move? You know, how does the game receive whatever you're putting into it using a controller? He's now looking at, you know, I like to think to myself that he knows what the developers of the game did, and now he has to play it as if the way they made it, they intended it to be. You know, he's transcended that thing of just playing basic FIFA, and that just shows you that's someone who sits down and says, what can I possibly do with all these players? What can I possibly do with all these tactics, these formations? You know, that's what I look into when I see someone like Beast play.
It's at the end of the day, it's what works in the game. You know, you have to, there's a reason why we have FIFA 20, FIFA 19, and there's a reason why it's different editions, and different editions comes with different ways of manipulating the game. And if you can know what is, you know, OP, you know, then and try to learn on how to maximize those you know, overpowered the meta. You know, if you can do that, then you're surely going. I mean, making reference to what I saw last week in the Asia, was it West Asia playoffs, when Beast was playing against that Asian guy, and they were playing for a chance to qualify for the FIFA E World Cup, and Beast conceded in the 119th minute, and we thought it was over. And what did he do? You know, from then on, he just took the ball, did a simple 1-2 with Ronaldo, gave it to the left back Davis, who he knows he's got some of the best, you know, long passing in the game. You know, and Ronaldo, we know what he can do. He can do practically anything in the pitch or so. And then to just scoop that ball through to Ronaldo, and for him to execute that header the way he did, it just shows you, when you work on what works in the game, you can reach heights like that, becoming the first South African to qualify for the FIFA E World Cup. You know, congratulations to him, and I think it's a good example to any other FIFA player that wants to reach those heights.
And I listened to a radio interview from Beast Bianchi. It was just by chance. I just stepped into an Uber and then I recognized the voice. I'm like, this is Julio. And the way he had explained that pass and that tactic that he had played is that, you know, he's been practicing it.
Yeah.
He's just been practicing it. He's never ever implemented it in a real life situation. But every time he practices, he's tried it and he's tried it and he's tried it. And he said, I'm going to keep this one day for a rainy day. I'm going to keep this one day for a day where I really, really need it. But I need to perfect it so that when it happens, it works, you know? And that's how he had explained it to the interviewer. And he said at that time he realized that he needed it and he just wanted to check it out and wanted to test it, and it worked in his favor. And it was not something that he did by chance or something that he just tried and he thought about. This is something that he's been practicing. And that's what I mean by someone who understands the game and understands the mechanics, understanding that what do I need to do in certain situations? You know, I feel like with a lot of FIFA players, they just go into it and say, we'll see what happens next. You know, we'll see how the game goes. You tend to hear that quite a lot. But when you have a person like him who has, I would say, a plan for each scenario, that is, I mean, you know that you're gonna walk home with the title, you know?
And, you know, you've got to have the plan and you've got to have the players to execute the plan. That's why I think a couple of weeks ago we were talking about your team selection, your lineup, you know, your formations. You know, that goal is not going in if it's not Cristiano Ronaldo.
Right.
If it's any other player in the game, that goal, if you use R9, he won't score that goal.
Yeah.
If you use Lewandowski, he's not scoring that goal.
Yeah.
If you use Drogba, he's too slow for that goal.
Yeah.
You know, he can head it, but I don't think he's going to reach that point.
At that time,
you know, so
at the right time.
you really need the players to match what you want to do.
Yeah.
You know, and Beast at that time, there's a reason why he didn't pass to the right back, but he passed to the left back because, as you're saying, he practiced it. He knew that Davies is the better player for him to execute that chance, and he gave it to him, and he did execute the chance. So it's a tip to any other FIFA player to say, you need to get you know to win this prize money that you're having now. To win it, you really need to have, you know, your team selection right. If you like, I've seen a couple of players are using France, and then I saw one use Manchester City. You need to know that is your team going to help you when you need help? Yeah. Because there are some times where, unfortunately, you need help. Yeah. You know, and if you need help, are they going to help you? If you have an Aguero, you can't score that goal with an Aguero. Yeah. You know, if you've got a corner 90th minute, who would you rather have inside the box to head that ball? Is it would you rather have an Aguero or would you rather have a Ronaldo? So that team selection is very, very crucial when it comes to competitions like this. You know, that's why we're seeing the same teams being chosen. The reason why people are going for France is they know for France, at France, you have, you know, the likes of N'Golo Kante. You've got Pogba, who can do a bit of everything. You've got a solid defense with Varane, who's probably the best defender in the game. And then you've got some of the best fullbacks as well, you know, with your Mendy's and Digne and Pavard, and then you've got your 5-star weak footers and 5-star skillers in your Ben Yeddas and Ousmane Dembele. So the team needs to be balanced, particularly for your style of play. If you know that you are a cross spammer, then just go for you know, a Portugal or Piemonte Calcio, where you know that you're gonna need the head. You know, you can't be a crossing guy and you're using Manchester City. Who's going to score headers there?
No, I hear you, man. And I think, you know, you touched on it quite a few weeks back when certain players would touch the ball, you would mention that, oh, no, that's not going to work because he had a weak foot. You know, he had a weak left foot, or that one, it was not going to work because he doesn't have 5-star skill. You know, it kind of goes back to that understanding, not only team selection, but also player selection, understanding who needs to touch the ball when, and what is their strengths and what are their weaknesses. Because if you don't leverage those things, then you're just going to find yourself in the back foot and making silly mistakes, you know. But I'm just looking at the screen now, so we can already see that we've got the upcoming match cards on the screen. We've got Zoe here, who's going to be going up against Ntsaks, so we can confirm that that's going to be the game that we're trying to get you guys to see at home. This is the game that I actually wanted to see today, you know what I mean? Bro. This is going to be the game that's going to show us, I think we're going to see another level of FIFA, man, at this point.
Bro, that's like what? Liverpool and Manchester City in the Premier League.
You know?
The leaders and the champions.
Yeah. High pressure, man. It's gonna be very
It is. And if you Antax, I think it's worrying. One, you played against Divac, who finished behind Zuhe, and you lost 5-0. Two,
Debza, sorry, it's Debza, right?
no, Antax.
No,
You
I'm saying
remember
Divac.
No,
the
I mean
previous
in the
league.
previous
Yes,
league,
right,
yeah.
all right, got
You
you.
remember when you lost 5-0?
Yes.
You lost 5-0, and now number two, the guy that you are playing is your teammate, and he's already got a 5-0 win today, so he's got 3 points. So basically, you are on the back foot because you are catching up to him.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't like to be in his shoes because it's two things, and the third one is you are playing against your friend or your teammate who has finished this league undefeated. So it's like everything is against you.
Yeah.
But now you are the reigning champion. You've got the experience. You've done it before.
Yeah.
And it's time for you to show it today, right now. No other time. It's now or never for him. Because, you've got to prove yourself. If you don't prove yourself, even if you go through, even if you can go and beat the other two and go through as the second seed, in the next rounds, you're not going to have the confidence, because FIFA sometimes it's a mental thing. I was talking to one of our producers right now. We're talking about that game of Beast Bianchi when he equalized in the 120th minute and he went to penalties. And we were saying that penalties are usually won by the player who just equalized because he's coming in, psychologically he's got the confidence. He is happy, while the other one, yes, he was leading, but he's disappointed. He's beating himself up in his mind.
Yes.
And it's time for the other one, for the equalizer, to just take the win. And it usually happens more often than not. And that's if I'm Tax, that's what I want to avoid going into the next round. If he's gonna go through as the second seed behind this guy, having had two. The first one was that 5-0 loss against Divac that I keep mentioning, and if this result doesn't go his way, he's gonna have two, setbacks going into the next round, and you don't want that going into that round.
Right. And I think for me, the one difficulty that might come into this match, especially because for those who don't know at home, Zahia and Tax both are representatives of Orlando Pirates, which we're assuming that they do train together, that they do practice from time to time, just to test each other out. You have to try and separate the previous results and how your practice sessions go from what you guys are going to be doing today. I'm not sure which way it goes when they practice with each other. Let's say, for example, it goes Zahia's way most of the time, and Tax now has to say, he has to be able to separate it and say, okay, in practice sessions, I normally lose to Zahia, but I know why I lose to him. I know what I need to do if I'm trying to win. I'm not sure which way his mindset is tilting. This is just now me trying to analyze the psycho situation of the player right now. But I mean, you've got two players that practice with each other more times than often, and you would assume that you already know which way it's going to go based on the fact that the results, they've seen them between each other, So now you have to be able to separate that thing of, okay, in practice it goes this way, but today it's a tournament. We're playing for 25,000 rands. We're playing for bragging rights. We're playing to see who the better man is, Zohia is undefeated, granted, but I think I'm the one who's going to be able to defeat him today. That's the kind of mindset that I hope Ntax is in right now. That's going to help him, take that a step forward and actually be able to bag this win and go home with it, So it's really one of those things. I just hope Ntax doesn't take their history into consideration as of now. Use it to your advantage, learn from it, understand it, but don't, again, what's happened in the past has happened in the past. Today's a new game. Today's a new day. Today it's a different scenario, different circumstances. We've got money there on the line. We've got a lot of things on the line. And I think you just play it for that. There are no second chances. There is no redemption. This is it. If you lose this game and you lose the next game to see the gift, then you're out.
Then you're out. Yeah, you are out.
And you're no longer the reigning champion,
No.
And I think it would go in Tax's you know, in his portfolio quite well if he can say he was the Ekasi Esports FIFA 21 series champion twice in a row. You know, that would go a long way, and he would be able, everybody would know. Every time Ekasi Esports does a series, everybody would know, like, oh no, isn't Sax joining?
Playing
you
the
know?
champ. Man, I mean, I nearly registered for this tournament, and I saw his name, and I was like, no,
It's fine. You know, and I was hearing talks of Beast and Tabo Savage tried to join as well, and I would have if that would have happened, I would have been like, there's no ways. You know, certain players, you just know they're just at a different caliber. And I'm not saying you should question yourself, you should doubt yourself or question your skills. It's good practice to go against the giants just so that you understand how they operate. But you know, for someone like me who's a koala, I can't. You know?
Yeah, but I mean, you know, if you are a passionate FIFA player, you go into these kind of tournaments. That's where you're gonna learn. If you meet the likes of Zuhair, if you meet the likes of Beast, you know, and Tabo, you know, I like it when I play against them. I know, you know, that it's probably I probably got it. What, 0.3% chance of winning? But you're gonna learn, and you know that if you concede less than 3 goals, then you probably did well. So if you've got an opportunity to enter these kind of tournaments, enter them. You know, don't be discouraged by I'm going to be playing Sax. What if it's me? I just put myself as in Sax. You know, you never know. You know, players can use different names. I've seen, you know, people using Tex's name. You know, it's not Tex. You know, so people can go there and register themselves as in Sax just to scare people. So don't fall for that trap. And even if you meet him, you never know, man.
You never know what could happen. You
never know, man. You know, so
it's one of those things. You know, just go into it with a fresh mind, and you know, practice makes perfect, right? If you don't tackle the beast, if you run away from those things, then how are you going to learn how to handle it when the time comes for you to actually, you know, do it? So it's one of those things that, to everybody watching right now, if you didn't make it into the Ekasi FIFA 21 series, we're sorry, but there's going to be another one hopefully next year as well, and you're going to have a second chance. But what you can do for now is watch these streams, tune into them, even if it's not live, tune into them next week, watch this one again, and just try to understand what these players were doing and what they did for them to be able to qualify through the league, and not only that, but the group stages as well, and then eventually to the final. So, you know, just practice, learn, understand, read the game, read the room. Beast did some incredible stuff that allowed him to qualify to that FIFA tournament. I want you to go back, and he's dropped the clip on Twitter. You know, you can go watch it and go understand and break it down for yourself. And if it comes down to it, you know, what if Beast uses that move on you? Now you've never seen it before, you know, and now you don't know how to defend against it, and now you don't know how to counter that move. So it's about those things, is that don't let the game, and don't let players catch you by surprise. You know, watch their games, analyze the situation, analyze players, read and observe, and then you might be able to just learn and actually have an upper hand when it comes time to verse them. But I just want to look at the comments again. We've got Temba Hlongwane. He says, hey, welcome to the stream, Temba Hlongwane. Thank you so much for coming through. And Tokoza says, good luck on today's match. Can't wait to watch what they have in store. And Tokoza, thank you so much, my friend. It's going to be a dope game. I'm very, very keen to see Ntax versus Zahir.
The match we wanted to see.
This is just one of those. It's an El Clasico kind of vibe for me, man. This is going to be an epic game. I really hope we get to see the finest FIFA come to play at this stage. To the players right now, I want to talk to them directly. So we've got Ntax, we've got Zahir. I think we've broken down Ntax's mindset, his mentality, where he's at 100%. I'm looking at Zahir now. Yes, he's a beast, man. He just goes in. He doesn't care a damn. He just goes for the goals and he just wins, you know. But I still want to be able to understand and dissect where he is right now. If let's assume Zahir's watching, what are some of the pieces of advice or things that you want him to look out for going into this game, and potentially also see the gift, who's to us has proven to be a worthy opponent. You know, where do you think Zahir is at right now, and what should he be thinking about going into the next game?
I think I'd rather speak to Sia, who hasn't played, because because for Zahir it seems like he's just he's just going to match his way into the next round. You know, so I think his mindset is solid. I think, you know, being a FIFA pro player brings a different facet to your game that some players don't have. You know, so if if I'm Zuhe, if I was to speak to Zuhe, I don't think I would have anything to say rather than just enjoy yourself, because it seems like nothing worries him. But now, if I was speaking to Sia the Gift, that's someone that I would, focus my thing on, especially if he hasn't played, because I haven't seen his results from this group today. So for him, I would say just wait a bit, watch this game. That's the best thing that I would give him, because you are better off watching this game. Just see what you're going to face in the next games after you play Tebza, Then you can try to check who can I beat and who can I not beat.
Right.
Because you are better off knowing what you're gonna face rather than not knowing. And with Zuhe, it's someone that will scare you, yes. And with Ntax, it's someone that will equally scare you because he's the defending champion.
Right.
So for me, I would just say, just watch it and try and devise a way to tackle them. My thing is, we know what formations work on this FIFA, particularly defensively. The 4-3-1-2 and the 5-3-2. Choose either of them. I think last week he was using the 4-2-3-1 midfield. Or if it's not the 4-2-3-1 midfield, I think it was the 4-4-1-1, where you had the striker and the CF, the center forward player, just be just up front behind the striker. I think it was he was using Manchester City, and he was using Kevin De Bruyne, who scored 2 goals on the day in that position. I would say to him, if you're going to face those 2 guys, leave Manchester City out of the equation, because it's not going to do it for you. 1, their defenders are too slow. 2, their strikers are not powerful. They are not game changers. They are not. They don't have the X factor. The forwards. Go for a France. Go for a Real Madrid, a PSG. At the PSG, at least you've got 2 of the best attackers up front. You've got a decent midfield, and you've got somewhat solid defense. At Real Madrid, you've got, I think it's more balanced. I think it was Boss Zonke who was using Real Madrid last week. If you must go for a solid side. But if you're going against those 2, I'd rather go for a solid team in France who've got the best back 4, a very solid CDM partnership of Pogba and Kante, a very solid, attacking 4. Whoever you choose there is not a wrong choice, from France. So that's what I would advise you. Watch these guys, and also go out there and pick a side that is balanced in all areas, because I'm telling you now, a Manchester City will not cut it against these 2. Against those 2, it won't cut it, because we're talking about skillers here. We're not talking about players who are going there to score. We're talking about players who are going there to embarrass you with skill moves and score.
Yeah. And I think it's one of those things, you touched quite nicely on it, having asking Sia to watch the game, read your opponents, learn about them. Literally, this is new now, this thing of being able to watch your opponents in tournaments play, and you actually
yeah.
This is one of those things that I think I give kudos to the Ekasi Esports team for making sure that they stream some of these games so that people can actually tune in and watch. It's not often that you get to see your opponents and how they played with each other, So now you've got 2 players that you're gonna go up against, and you're gonna have to see how it works and how they fare against each other, so that you can also do the best that you can. So to everybody watching and to everybody at home right now, I highly suggest that you tune into the streams often and try to learn your opponents, because it's only going to give you an advantage that you're going to be able to use to swing the narrative of the game in your favor, so we do appreciate everybody that's here, everybody that's watching. Shout out to everybody that's also commenting down below. Please feel free to comment and let us know who you think is going to win. We've got both players in the game. They're currently selecting their teams, so we're going to be able to stream the gameplay for you guys in a very, very short moment. Just stick around. But I would love to know from everybody watching the stream right now, who do you think is going to win, which way you think the games are going to go. We've got Zahir, who's going to be going up against Ntax. These two are teammates. They're both representatives of Orlando Pirates, and it's going to be an epic matchup, man. I think we're going to see some crazy FIFA, and I mean, we've been hyping this game up for the past 20 minutes now, you know, talking about it. It's just, I'm not sure if we're going to do it justice, but I'm pretty sure we're going to be in store for an epic lineup.
Yeah, the good thing is that I think we're now getting ready. I think we're like 2 minutes away. So yeah, stay tuned, because what you're about to see is a humding of a match. Between two of the best players we have in the country. You know, not just in the tournament, but in the country. So yeah.
You know, you're seeing the top of FIFA players go up against each other, and, you know, they finally meet at the Ekasi Esports FIFA 21 series. You know, we'd have loved to see players like Beast and Savage come through, but those ones are doing bigger and better things, you know. So, you know, what I do, I mean, I love Beast and I love Tabo very much. So, I mean, I saw them the first time they won. The first time I met them was at the VS Gaming tournament where they both won. That's the first time I actually got to meet them. So, for me, you know, since then, that's all I've heard about. You know, I haven't heard of any. I mean, I know of Masoom from BVD as well. Kalen as well. I know him because he's pretty active on social media. But I've always begged for them to kind of give other kids a chance, so we can have more. You know,
other kids are coming.
Yeah, they're coming, and I hope they do. You know, because you know, you don't just have Ronaldo and Messi. Rule the game. You want to have everybody else. You want to have the Lewandowski, who's the Pogba,
Haaland.
Yeah, you know, we want to know all these guys so that we can say, you know, I dream. Here's my dream, and to everybody watching, if there's sponsors watching or whatever, I'd love to see an all-stars match, an all-stars tournament. You know, you've got the top of the top. You can't get in unless you've got the credit from different tournaments. You know what I mean? So now you've got a lineup like that coming through. That would be epic to see. So we've got the players, they've lined up. I see that we've got both France. They've both selected France, which is a team that you mentioned they should pick. So guys, trust Eugene when it comes to FIFA tips, because he might just be able to help you win. We've got two Frances. We're just going to have to confirm in a moment which players are who. But yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to this game. If we can only see slightly, then we'll be able to tell you guys exactly who's playing as who. So we've got Zahir in white, and then we've got Ntax in blue-black. So already Ntax hit that foul there, and Zahir is going to have that set piece. On how he's going to use it. He's got Pogba there scaling nicely. This is what I like to see. A little few taunts there, playing it on the right, tries to get that through ball in, but unfortunately the ball goes out of bounds. So just to remind everybody, once again, we've got Zahir in white, and we've got Ntax in blue. This is going to be an epic match, man. You can already see both of them implementing everything they've got to try and secure that first goal early, because I think that's what sets the pace. Ntax playing some key football, get that through ball in, and he just might be able to hit it in. Ntax getting that first goal within the first 8 minutes of the game, using Pogba there, beautifully finding him in the box. Just a beautiful play there, beautiful passes, getting it in with that through ball as well, and just placing it on the bottom right corner. What a beautiful play there from Ntax.
Beautiful play, man. You know, to see a player giving Ntax the free roll to giving Pogba the free roll to just make sure that he gets into the box and make that run into the box and score. You know, it was a good move by Ntax, and you know, as we can see, Ntax is doing very well there. It's Zahir with the ball now, who's got everything to do now. Remember that it's 1-0, and Zahir has already won 3-0, 5-0 in his first game. He's looking to make sure that he qualifies after this match, and so far he's on the back foot with Ntax doing very well. You know, in making sure, because I think it was some piece of brilliant play there in that move. You know, he won the ball, made sure didn't lose it, gave it to Pogba, did that one pass and move, and Pogba got into the box. And you know, when Pogba is in the box, you just give him the ball and he'll do the rest, as he did there for the 1-0 goal for Ntax.
Deadly players coming in there from Ntax. Hopefully he might be able to get another one in his favor. Beautiful through ball there. He's got a player in the middle, and he gets another goal in, giving him that 2-goal lead going to Ntax. Oh my God, we've got a pause request coming in there from Zahir. I did not see it go this way so quickly. We've got 2 goals coming in from Ntax, and he's pretty much playing the same tactic over and over again. It's those clean cut throughs with those through balls that goes dead into the center of the 18-yard area, and then he just hits it in. I mean, it's crazy.
Watching that game is when you've got the ball, particularly inside the box, you don't hold sprint,
Right.
and that allows you to be able to turn and not be predictable to your opponent, and that's what undid Zuhair there for the second goal. With Ben Yedder coming in, joining in the attack. He's a 5-star. He's a 5-star. Footer player, and either foot he strikes, it's a goal. And good play from Tax at the moment. He's doing very well. Going into the box, he's able to get into the box, and when he gets there, he doesn't rush his attacks, which is what we are seeing here. With those misplaced passes, we don't see that from Tax. Two attacks and 2 goals so far.
Yeah, no, beautiful game coming in there from Tax. Top quality FIFA there. Zahir is the undefeated one between the two of them, but Tax proving to be a worthy opponent, giving him a tough time. I haven't seen any shots on target coming in from Zahir. Hopefully he's going to be able to give us a few of those, but right now Tax retains possession, proving how good he is with handling the ball and moving it around, finding his players, but making sure. I think Zahir right now needs to make sure that Tax just does not enter that box, because once he's inside there, it becomes deadly.
He's unpredictable when he gets into the box, and that's what separates him and to Zahir right now. As you see Zahir going into the box and scoring with Kylian Mbappe, a 5-star skiller there. We saw an elastico and then a deadly shot onto the near post of Kylian Mbappe to make it 2-1, and it's game on.
No, Zahir finding his feet once again in the game. He's still trailing by 1 goal, but luckily he just managed to put one in before we actually hit half time. Maybe he might just be able to equalize it, but Tax needs to do something to try and maintain that lead. Zahir got possession, he's playing it on the right, he just needs to find his man, gets that through ball in, finds his player on the far right. Is he going to be able to press it in or pass it in? Finds his man, he does, tries to finesse it onto the left, but Tax gets his hand on it.
I think you need to clean strike that one. You don't need to place it, you just need to hit through it and just make sure you keep it on target, and I think it's a goal if you do. I think it's a mistake from Zuhair there, but then again, it's starting to be more like it from him. We're seeing him entering the box, we're seeing him having shots at goal, and it can only mean and Tax must try to be able to be composed and contain him, because at the moment in time it seems like he's on the back foot, and Zuhair is making sure that he's coming back very, very strong. He's winning the ball right now. He's not as I was about to say, he's not losing the ball. He's just went there and just a stupid pass. I don't know who he was passing there, but it didn't go through. As we see Tax entering the box again, this is the moment when he becomes dangerous. Oh, the elastico didn't work out, and it went out for a goal kick.
These guys, as you can see here, the skills are coming to play, man. They have to try and be a bit more creative if they're going to get past their next man. And a beautiful gameplay coming in there from Tax and both here. This is just a game of who the better man is in this time. It looks like very level-headed gameplay here. Both of them very good opponents, but it's just about who's going to be the better one. He manages to get the ball. He's in the box. Is he going to be able to put it behind the net? Oh, internet connection issues. Making it a tough time for us to be able to observe this game. Tax still maintains possession. Hopefully the internet will stabilize so we can have a better viewing experience. Apologies to those at home. Unfortunately, he loses.
Yeah, I think Tax lost the goal there. I think he was going for something special there with those samba flicks. I think he had a goal. Yeah. I think that was a goal written all over it, because I couldn't predict. I don't think you could predict when he was going to exit after those tricks, with what skill he was going to exit with, and then what he was going to do after that. And I think the internet just cost him just cost him a beautiful goal.
Potential goal there, man. It's unfortunate that internet connection and internet issues come into play in these kind of games. We're really wishing, we're hoping that wouldn't be one of the factors that would come into this one. We just wanted to see two Titans go up against each other and show each other a fire, and we actually got to see a good portion of some quality football there. We didn't even have time to digest one of the goals before the next one came in. But one thing I can say is that Ntsax is a clinical player, a very good one. He knows how to play the ball. He knows how to pass it to the next man. He knows how to find those opportunities, especially in vital situations where a key player is in the box. And it's just a matter of him receiving the ball and finishing it and, calling it a day.
Yeah, that was some of the best football we've seen for a while. That half was just something amazing. I think I said this before the game started that last week it was a matter of tactics and today it's a matter of skill, and we've seen it's skill that separate. I think the goal by Zuhe, you could just see the skill, a beautiful reverse elastico by Kylian Mbappe, bang, 2-1. Ntsax, in the first goal. The second goal, I think he danced around the box. He passed it to I think it was Ben Yedder. No, not Ben Yedder. I think it was to Pogba, who just, turned left, turned right, then turned left again, and then passed it, laid it off beautifully to the on-rushing Ben Yedder. And, it takes skill, to do that. It's not tactics. Tactics is how you line up. Tactics is you run there, you stay here, you go there, and then when this one passes, that one will pass. But that is skill. So it's a beautiful half. It was a beautiful half, and I think we're gonna get more than what we've seen right now because both players have something to fight for now.
No, beautiful gameplay coming in from both those players. Hopefully second half we won't be experiencing as many technical issues this time round. Again, I just want to remind everybody that Zahir is France in white, and we've got Ntsax, who's France in dark blue, navy blue. So hopefully you guys will be able to separate the two. Zahir currently retains possession. He's going to try find his way into equalizing, and he manages to get that through ball, pivotal. But Ntsax gets to intervene there before it gets dangerous. It's Zahir who needs to score a goal just to equalize, and it's Ntsax who needs to maintain this lead right now.
Yeah, as we've seen, when the guys go near the box, they're always looking to perform a few skill moves, to be able to penetrate those the rigid defense. As we look for a through ball, and it has reached Kylian Mbappe. What can he do from here? Is he going to go on it alone, or is he going to pass? But it's a beautiful interception beautiful block by Varane, who is dubbed as one of the best, probably the best or the top two best defenders in the game.
A valiant effort there coming in from the player. Unfortunately, doesn't get to capitalize on it. Zahir still has possession. He might just be able to do something there. Try to lobby it forward, but he got intercepted there by the defenders. Ntsax is now playing it on the far right. He just needs to find a man. He's going to be pushing it all the way to the front. He just needs to cut it into the box. Something we've seen him do before. He finds his man, tries to take the shot, but it gets intercepted. What a beautiful placement there by Zahir. I'm not sure if it's skill or luck, but Zahir still managed to get that ball before it went into the back of his net.
Yeah, I think sometimes I like what Ntsax did there. Sometimes you just need to go to the basic wing play, and that's what we see. That's what we saw there, and it nearly reaped reward for him. Sometimes you don't. Yes, skill is vital at some points, but sometimes you just play it to the wing and just run through and pass it back. And what a beautiful block there to save a goal. As we see Ntsax going onto the wing again, giving it to Lucas Digne, who is surprisingly playing right back and not left back. And now it's Kylian Mbappe who's got the ball, a 5-star skiller. What can he do? Gives it to Pogba, who finds Kante, who knows it's definitely not going to shoot, and it's 3-1 to Ntsax. What beautiful play, beautiful vision from Kante to pass the ball beautifully to Kingsley Coleman, who finds the bottom corner, and it's 3-1 to Ntsax. I'm not sure if it's game set of match, but I definitely know that Ntsax has got this one on his hands.
It's Ntsax coming in there with some beautiful gameplay, proving to us why he's the reigning champion from the previous Ekasi Esports FIFA 21 series, really showing his teammates, the undefeated Zahir, who he really is, man. It's coming in with some quality gameplay there. And it always seems to be the same moves for me, man. It seems to be that thing of coming in from the far right or the far left and then cutting it straight into the middle, finding his player in the penalty area and getting that goal in. It's just a beautiful play. It's done it now 3 times in the space of the 70 minutes that we've witnessed now, and each time finding the perfect player and landing it into the back of the net. And sucks. Really quality gameplay there once again, and he does the same thing, this time getting intercepted by Zahir. Unfortunately, Zahir needs to find a different way to try and penetrate this defense, currently trailing by 2 goals. And mind you guys, Zahir has been undefeated in this current tournament, so he hasn't lost 1 game. And now that we've reached the group stages, I'm struggling to see how he's finding a tough time winning this game, man.
I think the formation is also undoing him, because it doesn't offer you so much going forward, So Ntsax is, the way Ntsax is playing, he's making the pitch bigger. When you play through the wings, you're making the pitch bigger, and it becomes difficult for the opponent to be able to make sure that he marks each player.
Right,
and it's difficult for him now because he's not playing through the middle. It's difficult for Zuhe to be able to go and close down those players because they are far apart. I'm sure he's also told in his instruction his wingers to hug the sideline, and he can't cope with Zuhe in this match so far.
Beautiful gameplay there, and a very nice analysis coming in there from Eugene. Playing it wide and opening up the field does make it hard for the opponent to try and mark each and every player. In fact, it makes it more of a lengthy process, and one mistake could be your undoing. But maybe he might have learned something. He's got 9 minutes to try and make up for it, but I'm pretty sure we know which way this game is going. Fingers crossed, Zahir might just be able to equalize and still be in the running for this game. Zahir currently has the ball. He's got plenty of players inside to choose from, but he just doesn't find that player. And Zux now has possession again, and now showing you what he's made of. Trying a few skills there, losing possession. That could have been his undoing, unfortunately, but still maintains the ball, intercepting it there. Zahir might just be able to have a second chance there, coming in with those skills, trying to lose his man, and unfortunately not being successful.
Yeah, I think those kind of things you need to cut them out of your game if you're Ntsax playing against someone who's got a +5 goal difference. This tournament might just go to goal difference.
Right.
You need to score as many goals as possible, and if you can't do that, make sure you don't concede. That's one way of conceding goals. If you do tricks, particularly in your half, particularly next to your box, that was some dangerous plays from Ntsax. And if he wants to win this tournament, if he wants to win this group, he should cut those things out of his game.
No, it is true that in fact Zahir has come from a game where he's won 5-0, and the game goes to Ntsax. What a beautiful game coming in from Zahir, and Ntsax securing that win. The score being 3-1 in favor of Ntsax. Zahir, unfortunately, not being able to live up to the hype that we had thought he would be able to bring to the table. I mean, it could be a thing of, he won his previous game 5-0, so he may have come in a bit more comfortable thinking that. But one thing that you touched on, Eugene, which was very lovely, is that, Zahir comes from a 5-0 background in the previous game against Debza, and now, you've got Ntsax who's got the 3-1 goal, and I think he kind of did himself a disfavor there towards the end, doing a few skills next to his penalty area, because rather than skilling and taunting your opponent, you want to be able to secure that 4th and that 5th goal just so that you can start. Because granted, he may have won against Zahir, but I still think that Zahir can maintain that #1 spot on the league just because of goal difference alone. So that's what you should have prioritized, not just getting the 3 points, but also making sure that you get the 5 goals to be able to cover that distance on the goal.
Doing a skill is not wrong.
No.
But it depends on where you do the skill. Kudos and congratulations to Ntsax for winning that one. But I think those are some of the things that he needs to cut out of his game. Don't do skill moves in your own half next to your own box,
right?
Because if you lose if you lose the ball there, as we saw there, he nearly conceded the goal. So if you concede, you win 3-2 rather than 3-1. Now that +1 could be the difference heading into the next matches. Right. So but yeah, beautiful match. some brilliant play from both guys. You know, quality goal from Zuhair there with Kylian Mbappe. You know, the utilization of the reverse elastico. You know, and knowing which side to pick in terms of shooting, and some beautiful goals as well from Zax. You know, I think it's a matter of knowing when to stand up and be counted. It's a matter of, you know, rising to the occasion at the right time. You know, perhaps in the group stage, in the league stage, you know, you knew that, yeah, you can always make up, but because now it's time for you to stand up and be counted, I think Zax is starting to rise to the occasion now. And we saw from that, he only did a few mistakes.
Yeah.
But other than that, even the goal he conceded, it wasn't his mistake. It was just, you know, Zuhair's brilliant play.
Yeah.
You know, so I think the mistake was just that skill move that got, you know, that they stole the ball from him and he needs to cut out. But other than that, clinical display from Zax, and it's back to the drawing board for Zuhair, who hasn't lost. It's going to be interesting to see how he responds from a loss, because other players, it can be, you know, Sam, an advantage for you if you have lost before in the tournament, because you know that if you lose this time around, how do you respond?
Right.
But if you haven't lost and you lose, you know, at this time, how do you respond? You know, so it's going to be interesting to see how he responds from that disappointing loss from Zax.
I mean, again, touching onto that Zax thing, I think that's what separates a good player from a great player. You know, I would have expected a bit more, I think a bit more critical thinking from Zax coming in there. Prioritizing, there comes a point where you prioritize a win, and then you prioritize winning the tournament, not just winning the match, you know. And I think for a moment there, he just tried to focus on winning the match more than anything, and I think that may just bite him in the end, you know. You'll see that in quality top players like Beast or players like Tabo, where you'll see that, you know, there comes a point where you have to play the game differently, not based on the match that you're playing right now, but based on where you're trying to get to at the end of the tournament. And I think he should have prioritized goal difference there. We touched on that, but coming from Zax, really beautiful gameplay, man. He really proved himself, and I think he needed that booster to be able to say, okay, maybe I got this thing. You know, he's the reigning champion. He has to back his street cred. You know what I mean? But beautiful gameplay coming there from there. I'm keen to see how Zuhair fares in this one. I'm going to be keeping a close eye on the league to see where everybody stands in the league. But otherwise, guys, it's been a great match, man. Eugene, it's been a great day. We've seen some awesome football. The commentary was great. Thank you to Candice, who just says loving the commentary in the comments. Thank you so much, man. I think we're getting better with time as time goes. Finding the chemistry, but I'm enjoying it, and I'm really enjoying this process of watching players grow in the tournament, and hopefully when the final comes, when everything wraps up, we get to see one of the epic game, and hopefully they'll be here, and we're going to try our best to make sure that it's an epic performance for you guys. But I think from Eugene and myself, we're going to call it a day. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and yes, we're going to see you guys here same time next week. And yeah, you know, everybody keep tuned. We're going to switch it over to our co-hosters, and yeah, man, we'll see you guys in a short bit.
Cheers.
Wow.
What an awesome match.
Yeah. Like we say, guys, I think this should be our trademark now. Anything can happen.
We already made that last week.
Yeah. We need t-shirts. Anything can happen.
Anything can happen.
What do you think? What do you think about the match, man?
Look, I'm impressed. Hey, Zax pulled through.
He pulled through. He didn't disappoint you.
Next time I
I shouldn't disappoint the league.
Honestly, I just felt like, wait, off.
Yeah.
5 minutes compared to Hala.
Yeah.
You know, it was just like one of those. But he proved me wrong.
Interesting to see number 12 beating number 1. You know,
Hey, Lord.
so it shows
position
anything
you know,
can.
it's about the skill. It's about your skill
Yeah.
and how bad you want it at that time.
Exactly.
Or, okay, you know what? Look, I had this person, Shapila Mamang 5-0. You know, let me try and beat him. And the first 2 goals were, hey.
Yeah. So it's going to look interesting because Ratseba Dr. Z has an upper hand. He won 5-0 in his first match, and then losing this one, it's going to look,
He didn't really lose it. At least, he's got that 1 goal.
Yeah. I mean, he's Pirates. He technically won. So it's a win-win for him. He's like, yeah, man. They probably called each other. They were like,
no, I feel like if I won, hey, I see again. But it was a really good match, very entertaining to watch. Both are competitive players, both are experienced players, both with skills. Although Nzax obviously has, that he's that guy because he won the last time and
the last series.
So hey, boy.
Different player, I must say, based from what I'm used to with Nzax, he started off well, at the end there, bit complacent, getting skillful, especially at his at his end, and which I thought was risky, especially at this level of a competition. You can't afford
go big
to
or go home.
You can't afford
Sometimes
to.
you may take the risk and actually pull through. Sometimes the risk help, especially if you still have some time. And then vele ukore, and then it's a 4-1 kind of situation. You see, it's a battle. Everyone is trying to be that guy in their group. So in Group A, Nzax is really pushing to be that guy, and I'm impressed. I must say. Hey, he did the things.
Yeah, if you guys want an update, of the table and everything, make sure to visit www.ekasi.africa. The update will be made later on, maybe tomorrow. Just stay, just stay hooked on it. Just make sure you are tapped in at all times. And that will be it, man. It was a great match. Great action. Those deals, guys. Get those phones. Let's share the match.
Wait, no comment.
And until next time, guys, peace.
Bye.
I'm just going with the gut. Never had a doubt, felt like this is just a must. Put me in perspective, I'm the deepest in the cut. Everybody tuning in, but this is just for us now. We know I ain't ballin' yet. Hoes wanna holler, oh no, I don't call them back. Girl, let me see you hold it down, we gon' have a blast. Cause I just wanna know what you gonna do with all of that. Ain't gotta say a word, I know what's up. You can have it all, watch me rip it off. I'll admit it, you got me feeling hella loved. Even when it's going down, know that we gon' live it up. Young shot caller, always been a baller. Know that you the one, I can feel it in my heart, yeah. Won't stop charging me, go and come harder. I can see you and I, way beyond the stars, girl. I can never ever find the right words, and there's no way this is real life. There's no telling you're the right girl, so I can only say that it feels right. It feels right. It feels right. It feels right.
up in the party, flyer than everybody. We show up in the party, flyer than everybody.
We show up in the